I wish I could just comment briefly on this process question that you, Mr. Chairman, just raised. It's my understanding that there are rules that allow for the presentation of amendments, here at the markup, and you are the chairman, and I respect the manner with which you generally operate the committee. And while we may disagree on substance from time to time, I think it's a dangerous path without even having a chance to hear or see some of the amendments that we will offer to presuppose that they should not be received or not be considered in the same light that a pre-filed amendment would be considered, when, frankly, it would have been helpful 2 weeks ago for the budget views and estimates to be presented to us. When did we get them? Just a couple days ago. So I understand that we are in the minority here, and I understand that the prerogatives of the majority are quite strong and the balance of this committee is quite tilted. But I would prefer that the committee operate in a fashion that doesn't prejudice the substance of an amendment that is offered on the basis of the timing that that amendment is offered, and that I would ask the Chair to encourage the majority to carefully consider the language that is presented and consider that it might have been helpful for us in pre-filing amendments to have had more than a couple of days that are already occupied with significant legislative activity and a schedule that we already had set. It concerns me because I think what the ranking member has provided is an important statement, and especially in the context of the opening comments that refer to the debt clock, which I know is a consideration that we all have to keep in mind, and I frankly reject the implication that some of us don't take it seriously. We may have different approaches as to how we get there, but we take it very seriously. But my view is, and I think the reason that the ranking member has offered the language that she has, is to make the point that there are other metrics than the running debt clock that we ought to consider when putting together such an important statement about the direction that this committee will take. But the primary purpose for my seeking recognition is to encourage all members to consider all amendments that are offered within the rules that this committee has adopted. Now, if it is the determination of the majority that pre-filed amendments should receive a higher degree of consideration than those that come up because of the timing of the base document that we are responding to, and if that is your judgment, I think it would be wrong. Bring that as a rule that the committee should live by. But I find it difficult to accept the fact that the rules that you proposed and that this committee adopted specifically allows for amendments to be brought at a markup and then create a two-tiered approach to the consideration of those. I just think that's the wrong direction for the committee to take. And I support the amendment offered by the ranking member because of its substance. And, I've already taken up 5 minutes, or almost that would give members a chance to read. I know we're all quite proficient in that skill, and the language is actually pretty clear to me. So with that, I yield back.